Okay, welcome everybody. Part 30 of 30 for 30, your Excel VBA absolute beginner course. And we made it, guys. What a tremendous effort. A tremendous effort on your part. Just been talking to people in the chat, people who've been here for all 30 sessions. Incredible stuff. So whether you came from a position of absolutely nothing, whether you came from a position of having some coding experience, whatever it was, don't compare your achievement to anybody else's achievement. Your achievement is special. And if somehow I've helped set you on a path to use VBA in your life, in your career, get the same level of kind of satisfaction that I've got out of it, then I'm a very, very happy individual indeed. So let me know in the chat, can you see me? Can you hear me? Before I say hello to everybody, what are we going to do today? Well, I've been through the comments from the series. I've picked out 6 or 7 comments that I think are noteworthy for various reasons. You know, they bring out some of the main themes that we've been talking about, not technical themes, but more those meta themes, the Excel meta skills, mindset, attitude, things like that. So I'm going to go through some comments. I've got some questions off social media, question off Instagram I got. We'll discuss that one as well. And then thank you, Adrian, saying coming through loud and clear. And then any other questions in the chat, you know, get involved in the chat. Anup saying he's binge watched 17 streams. Amazing stuff. Yeah, any questions in the chat, I'll try to answer as well. And I've got an array of drinks lined up here. You can't see them, unfortunately. I've got my water. I've got my DC. DC's in the chat. I've got my DC. This isn't an official endorsement. And then I've also got a little bottle of red wine here, and I might crack that open later. It's already open, don't worry. Right, who's in the chat? Who's with us today? So thank you so much for making number 30. And as I said, let me know any final questions. Avina Shraj right at the top of the chat. Welcome. Good to have you with us. Sandeep is with us. Sandeep says it seems like we've reached the final episode quickly. Yeah, it has gone quickly. Like, don't get me wrong, it was heavy going at times for me doing it, but it does feel like we've reached the end quickly now. Maria, hello and welcome. Thanks for the comments in the chat. Adrian, welcome. Did you get your coffee, Adrian? Let me know. Joanna, welcome. Joanna's asking about the football course, and if you're interested in the football course, send me an email, info@tigersolutions.co.uk. I know some people are already interested. Lee Williams, Lee Stanyland. So Joanna, I think your name's Joanna, I'm guessing. If you send me an email to info@tigersolutions.co.uk, what we'll do is we'll have a discussion about how to do it. I think I want to do it live now. I think that's the best way. I've got 3 hours of recorded footage, so I'm not sure what to do with that. Anyway, doesn't concern everybody, so let's get an email thread going and we can discuss how best to do it. Welcome Lee Williams as well. Lee, so made all 30 streams. That is a fantastic effort. And Lee says he's been working on his own stuff this afternoon. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, guys. Makes me so happy when people are saying they're working on their own stuff. Welcome Phil Thomas. Peter Jones says, congratulations. Well done to Chris for making all 30. Yep, I have made all 30 with no breaks in the end. Adrian, welcome again. Frank, welcome. Now, Frank has made some brilliant contributions in the comments. So in the comments below some of the streams, Frank has put some fragments of code in there. So if you're looking for some code from the stream, sometimes I didn't quite get to finish something, or I gave you some kind of homework challenge. Frank's made some great contributions there. So thank you, Frank. You can see his code in the comments under some of the streams. Everybody upstanding, please. The General is in the building. Wasn't here yesterday, but graced with Jorgen's presence today. Welcome, Jorgen. HD, welcome to you. Ian Lamb up in Edinburgh, another one of our members. Welcome. Klaus, another one of our members. Welcome to you. Ola says, let's do this. Let's do this, Ola. Punt for today. Welcome, Alistair too. Ian Box, the other Ian, is in the chat today. Welcome. Luke3, welcome. Thanks for the Instagram follow, by the way. Luke3. Yeah, I do a daily video on Instagram. Daily. I've done 283 and I've got about 100 followers. So nobody follows them. which is quite funny. It makes me think, why do I do this? But you got to love the process. I do enjoy making those videos. And the people who do follow me give me some really good ideas and feedback. But if you want a daily video from me, I talk about Excel, formulae, VBA, mindset, business strategy, YouTube. I'll do you a 60-second video every day. And if you like it, give it a cheeky like over on Instagram, hashtag your daily tiger, hashtag your daily tiger on Instagram. Welcome to Henrik. Good to see you. Now, DC is tuning in. David Cooper says he's got a Zoom meeting, so we've got to try to distract DC to come and hang out with us so he doesn't have to go to a Zoom meeting. Welcome, Anup. Anup says it's 36 degrees. Wow, amazing. Stanislav. Welcome, Stanislav, and you're very welcome. You've said thank you very much. Stanislav translated some of the formulae into another language in the chat. That was also really helpful. Robert is with us. Last day, boo-hoo. At first, I thought you were saying last day, woohoo, but you're actually saying boo-hoo. So, yeah, don't worry. We'll be back. We will be back. We're going to talk about this. Shiva, welcome. Is this the end of the line for this stream? It's the end of the line for this series. Oh, not the end of the line for 30 for 30. We can get back into that, although there will be a hiatus of some description. Okay, Ian says this series has been far the best. This is Ian Box. Thank you, Ian. Very nice of you to say. Shiva says it really was a wonderful journey. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, that sense of journey, you know, it sounds kind of cheesy, doesn't it, when people talk about journeys, and it sounds like we're talking about Strictly Come Dancing, and the UK people will know, but learning, it is a bit of a journey. You know, you have tough times. You need somebody to help you through it. I'm helping you through it. This series is not about me. It's about you. You are the heroes of what's happened. That's why we're celebrating today, because you've been on a bit of a journey. I know at some point in the past 3 or 4 weeks, you've really struggled and you've thought about giving up. I know about half the people who watch this have given up. Yeah. That's just how it happens. You know, in some of the streams we had 55 viewers. Now we've got like 25, 35. So if you're still with us, you have been on a journey. Yeah. So well done to everybody, and Shiva as well says it was a wonderful journey. Sandy, welcome. Ian Reeve is with us as well. Thank you for saying it's loud and clear. Welcome, Ian. Francois, welcome. Jasvin's with us. Jasvin tuning in from Orange County, of course. Welcome. And then Alistair says, thank you for the effort. Henrik says, first the press up, then the drinking. Yeah, we did press ups for 50, but we never got to 60. I think that was the peak of the viewership. We got to 50 viewers, and then it just started to, you know, decline from there. But that's what it's like, you know. As things get difficult, some people will tune out. It's not for everybody. You got to accept that. But I did get the press ups done in one of the streams. Okay, yeah. Any other questions yet? Put them in the chat. Jasmine's got one here. Speaking of array, can we see some videos on that? Maybe what is your take on user-defined functions? Any videos on that? Yeah, good shout, Jasmine. User-defined functions. So in VBA, we can create our own custom functions, which means that when we go to Excel, so I've got Excel here. Oh, this is Excel, by the way. I think you know that now. So when you go for your formulae, you can create custom functions so that your custom function appears in the formula list. What? That's crazy. So I could have Chris function and I'll get the option there, Chris function. So when you type it in, Excel's going to go to the VBA editor and find the code and execute the function. Yes, they're cool. There's no doubt about it. They're cool from a programming perspective. It's great to get them working. I've never found the unique value. What's the particular value of a user-defined function over VBA? Yeah, we get instant calculation, I suppose, because a user-defined function calculates instantly. But that's why I don't use them much in my practice. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Maybe I should. But I can't describe the unique value that a user-defined function brings, which is why I don't cover it. I might be wrong, of course, because on the channel I only cover stuff I use in my work and stuff that I can justify to people who are saying, you know, why are you doing this? Okay, let's see what else we've got in the chat. Gelet is with us. I joined the series a bit more than 1 week delay, so I'm still catching up. It's so helpful. Thank you very much, Chris. Gelet, welcome. I'm sorry about my pronunciation of your name, but it's good to see you, and I hope you'll enjoy catching up with the sessions. Gary Wilson, welcome, Gary. 30 for 30, yeah, over 30,000 views in total, Peter. Yeah, that's not too bad. Gokul Raj, welcome. I haven't seen you on the streams yet, so you made it. You made it for one. Well done. Jorgen says, please repeat what the football course is. Okay, so the football course, what is it? It's how to use Excel and Excel VBA to analyze football matches from a betting perspective, to analyze football data so that you can trade or bet on the matches better, based on my experience of 5 years, having delivered 20 or 30 tools to do that. And yeah, I'm going to write a course. I can't show you all the tools. I can't show you how to make a specific tool, but I can show you generally the techniques I use that are going to be useful for you. I've already recorded 3 hours of footage, so I'm wondering what to do with that. But doing this has made me realize live really is the best way to do it. So I'm working out how to do it. I'm going to talk to some people about how to do it. So Lee, both the Lees, Joanna and Jorgen as well, the general, if you email me, info@tigersolutions.co.uk, or send me your email address on Twitter, I'll include you in the email thread. We're going to discuss how to deliver it. What's the best way to deliver it? And also we'll discuss things like pricing, how to price it up. Alistair, I have a question for you. How do you obtain clients for your main Tiger business? Okay, let's get into the first question here, because that's one of the questions I had. And this question also came from Diamond Geezer Edie, and this is over on Instagram. So Your Daily Tiger on Instagram. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. And Alistair said, how did you obtain your first client? Well, I can tell you the whole story. So in 2008, 2009, I did a master's degree in business analytics. And that master's degree was basically a master's in spreadsheets. It's not an exaggeration to say that a lot of it was about spreadsheets, although there's lots of other interesting stuff that's got nothing to do with spreadsheets that I'm also really interested in. And I got a reputation on that program, which is silly. It's just ridiculous to think back, because when I started, I couldn't do Excel at all. I got a reputation as the Excel guy. What did I say to you? Start getting a reputation as the Excel guy. In your family, be the Excel guy. And I'm using guy in a non-gender specific way. Be the Excel person. In your office, be the Excel person. In the pub, be the Excel person. You'll be amazed how many people will just come to you and talk to you about Excel, because there's so many people struggling with it. So on my course, I was like the Excel guy. So people, other students used to come to me and get me to sort things out. And then towards the end of the program, me and another student on the course started a company. Yeah. Had no idea what we were doing. It was called Tiger Solutions, but we were kind of motivated by, The Apprentice, and there was a real kind of entrepreneurial culture then, which I think there is now. And we were thinking, now's the time to do it. Now's our chance to do it. But we didn't know what we were doing. So we were going around talking to people. One thing we did right, though, I'll tell you, is we went and spoke to loads of people. We called loads of people. We networked. We went to see companies. Most people were just like, yeah, we don't want anything to do with you. But we were going around talking about business analysis, talking about these tools, one of which is Excel. But we had a whole range of tools. That was a problem. Maybe we'll get to that. We should have gone around and just said, we're the Excel guys. Anyway. So we were trying to get the business started with like limited success. And at that time, so I just finished my master's. At that time, I took on a part-time job as a teaching assistant in a college in Nottingham. So I was trying to get the business started, needed some income, and they wanted someone to teach 2 days a week. So I went to this interview. And I was completely honest with him. I was like, listen, I don't want to be a teacher, don't want to be a teaching assistant. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build this business, but I know I can come and do a great job for you with this teaching assistant stuff. And they want a teaching assistant for like business. And so they were like, I was lucky. I had somebody who was quite an innovative thinker interviewing me, and she took me on. She said, look, we know it's a gamble, but we're going to try you. So she took me on. So I did 2 days a week in a college. This was ages ago. That lasted about 3 months, because very, very soon, what happened? I became the Excel guy in the college. Yeah, be the Excel guy. So very soon, really very soon, like senior management were calling me into meetings and saying, listen, we've got this data problem, and asking me questions like, can we do this in Excel? Do we need to invest in this system? Education, there's so many systems you can invest in for data management, none of which are needed, in my opinion, because it's pretty basic analysis people are trying to do. So in the end, I quit the teaching assistant job and got a project with them, which was to do with spreadsheets. And I ended up working with them for 2 or 3 years, doing projects with them. So that's how the first project came about. And that gave me a bit of confidence. And for the next 2 or 3 years, I did quite well without breaking through, without me ever feeling, I'm sure this is my career. I had like occasional success, and just enough success to keep me going, to keep me interested in it. What changed everything? What was the game changer? This. What's going on? You see the stuff around you now? All the YouTube stuff. Yeah, YouTube changed everything. And this is what I want to say to you. If you're thinking about starting a business, remember the original question, which is about how do you get a customer? If you want to grow any business, my advice is give everything away before you even start. Yeah, give everything away. My business started gathering momentum when I stopped having this transactional attitude to knowledge, and I gave everything away. Yeah, so I'll go to client meetings and I'll basically do the work for them in the meeting, put some formulae in the meeting. And then we started YouTube, and we had a perfect storm, because my brother, who lives in Berlin, he started getting into filming. He got some cameras, and then I was looking at YouTube and thinking, oh, the Excel tutorials are rubbish. And in 2011, they were rubbish compared to what there is now. So we started doing some YouTube videos, but more at a more fundamental level, when my mindset changed from trying to do business to just trying to help, put everything out there and try to help. That was a game changer. And the business hasn't looked back since then. It's not the problem with the business is it's not easily scalable, but for what it is, it's been a big success since then. So Alistair, I hope that answers your question about how to obtain clients for the main Tiger business. Let's see if we've got any other interesting questions in here. So sorry if I can't catch your question. I will do my best. So going from Alistair's question here, looking through the chat. Quick question here from Gokulraj. How to use Messagebox as like user form to run a VBA or cancel a process. I recommend before any VBA routine, you flash up a message box. Pretty much any VBA routine, flash up a message box, a yes/no message box to say, do you want to run this routine? And you can just put the VBA in. It's a simple line of VBA. If the answer is no on the message box, then don't run the routine. So message boxes have a big part to play in user interaction. And user interaction is one way you can stand out as a programmer, because programmers don't usually think about it. They just think about the code. They don't think, how is the user going to interpret the code? How is the user going to get value out of the code? So that's how I recommend you use message boxes. Skinlow01, welcome. I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before. Still in the process of catching up. Just a quick comment to say thanks for the excellent series. Congrats on making it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope it's been helpful for you. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Heading down here. Thank you to Phil, by the way, who signed up for the £1 membership. Okay, just going down the chat here. Okay, welcome, Michelle. Good to see you. Good. Okay, down to the bottom of the chat. So I've picked out some comments from comments on the series, on the videos. So let's go through a few of these. So I like this one. So is Lee with us in the chat? Lee S. Let me know. Have you ever felt like you're bottom of the class in something? If the only thing you get out of this course is you had the feeling of being bottom of the class and what to do to get yourself out of being bottom of the class, that is a tremendous outcome from the course. You know, for me, too many people never have the experience of being bottom of the class. Shall I tell you what I'm trying to do at the moment? I always try to be bottom of the class in something. Okay, that doesn't mean you should try to do things badly. That means you should try new things. Yeah. And I don't want to sound annoying or anything, but I think it's so important to be learning, trying new things. You know, Bertrand Russell said the secret to happiness is broadening your range of interests. I think that's so true. Let me tell you about what I'm bottom in the class at the moment. Pull-ups, not press-ups, pull-ups. Yeah. So I'm not into my fitness, but I try to keep fit. And I love YouTube for fitness. It gives you inspiration, different ideas. And in fact, YouTube has totally changed my fitness regime. And an example of this is, you know, you've got to be able to do pull-ups, you know, doing full body exercises. So a pull-up is when you get your arms on an iron bar and pull yourself up. Yeah. So last year I started this. Guess how many pull-ups I could do when I started? Zero pull-ups. I could just about hang off the bar. Okay, so now I've had a pull-up bar about 8 months. I've got it installed just here off the wall of the house. I got a builder to come around and put it in. It's like a permanent fixture. Guess how many pull-ups I can do now? I could do 2 pull-ups. 2 pull-ups. I'm bottom of the class, but I'm loving it. I'm loving being bottom of the class. The amount of work it took to get from 0 pull-ups to 2 pull-ups was just epic. Just so much work. I've done so many exercises, you know, that are easier than pull-ups to allow me to do just 1 or 2 pull-ups. You know, and I've totally loved it. So you're feeling bottom of the class. There's no need to compare yourself to anybody else. And what I'm saying is when you're at the bottom of the class, the way you learn, you've got to be slow. You've got to be deliberate. You've got to build a foundation. That's going to reap massive rewards later. In Excel VBA, I was bottom of the class, so I've kind of personally experienced it then. Good, so great comment there from Lee. Really like that one. Let's go to another comment here. So this is from Ewura, of course. Now, I think this commenter is from New Zealand. And I thought this is a great comment because I think a lot of people are probably feeling like this at the moment. So probably a mixture of excitement and then a bit of trepidation. That's the journey, isn't it? And Ewura is saying, I'm enjoying the journey a lot. So what I would say to you, if you're feeling like this, sorry, that's the wrong one. Let's just go back to this one. Yeah, if you're feeling like this, then you're in the right place. Okay. And what I said in my reply to this comment was, just keep working through those examples, my examples. You need to keep working in a supported environment, okay? I don't mean personally supported environment. I mean an environment where you have a video guidance from somebody like me, and an environment where you have things like download files that will give you a final solution for you to compare your solution to, okay? So if you're like that, I think a lot of people out there will be like that. They've appreciated the possibilities, but also don't feel they have full control yet over what's going on. That's a good place to be. Okay. You just got to keep working on those skills, keep working on those applications. So great comment there from Ewura, of course. Right. Just going to quickly go back through the chat. Just bear with me a second. DC says, I'm the Excel guy for my work. The Excel guy is a good name for a business. There you go, Phil. You know, when you start that business and you make $1 million, just remember me, okay? Anup says, can you list the top Excel skills which every Excel guy should master? I'll do it now. Anup, I'll give you one, and it's not what you think. You've got to be able to debug. What? That's the only thing you have to be able to do to get good at Excel. You don't have to know any formulae. You don't have to know any code. If you're excellent at debugging, you never give up. You don't get angry. I get angry all the time. You don't get angry. You know what to do to debug. You can line up the VBA editor and Excel. You can step through the code, gradually build an understanding of what's going on. And the same for formulae. When a formula doesn't work, you can debug a formula. If you're good at debugging, there's no limit to your Excel potential. Yeah. Compare that to somebody else who's gone and done a course, you know, the 10 Excel formulae you have to know for Excel mastery. Sorry, I think that's rubbish when people say that. I'm not personal to you Anup at all, but it frustrates me when people say, all you have to do is learn these formulae to get good at Excel. You could have somebody who's looked at examples of all the formulae and got the new formulae like XLOOKUP and all of those formulae, but doesn't have the fundamental skill, the meta skill that you need to actually work through problems in Excel. So that's my advice, and get good at dealing with issues in Excel. That means getting good at debugging. If you can do that, the world is your oyster. Justin says, did YouTube change the biz for the better? Oh, Justin, 100%. So we started doing YouTube videos in 2012. Now, the thing about YouTube, for 3 years, nothing happens. Okay, we did about 20 videos a year for 3 years and got to about 5,000 views, something like that. But we loved the process. I always say, you got to love the process. You can't do YouTube just to get notoriety straight away. That's very rare, you see. And me and my brother wanted to get better at filming and editing. I wanted to get better at delivering content. And if you think I'm bad now, you should have seen me at the beginning. Go back to like our first videos, okay? So we just loved the process. We weren't bothered about the views, yeah? We got to about 50 videos. Then 2015, I was just kind of occasionally looking at YouTube and I was like, oh, that video's got another 10 views. That video's got another 20 views. Suddenly we were getting organic views. Yeah, organic views. So people were finding our videos through search, finding our videos through suggested videos, whatever it might have been. And from there, it's gone quite well. But the point is, for 3 years, nothing's going to happen on YouTube, really. So you've got to love the process of making the videos, yeah, and just make it for yourself. That 3 years is actually a gift, because that's 3 years where you can mess up, you can experiment, because nobody's watching. It doesn't matter. And as I said, you can go back to our early videos. They ain't great, okay? But it's all part of the process. So we'll certainly keep them up there. Okay, just going back into the chat there. Henrik says, in Members Monday, do you have any examples within budgeting or purchasing? I think I've read VBA will be useful for these processes. Henrik, do we have any specific examples? I wouldn't say specifically, but I would say VBA is so broadly applicable. You know, I work in all kinds of different functions, in all kinds of different sectors and industries. It's all VBA. So what I'm saying is, if you join Members Monday, and we had an example with football data last week, we've done examples with airport data in the UK, Ian's example. The fact it's a different sector does not mean it's not going to be useful. It might be exactly what you need. Okay, so because if you look at the stuff I create, whatever it is, it's going to be the same. You're going to have to work with ranges, work with variables, conditional statements, loops, and position control. Whatever sector you're in, you're going to need those 5 things. So I recommend Members Monday. I mean, of course I recommend Members Monday, but get involved. So if you're missing 30 for 30, you know, Paul Taylor, one of our members, pointed out yesterday, £3 a week. So it's the cost of a coffee a week. You'll get instant access. Yes, you'll get instant access to 20 live streams. So it's like having access to another 30 for 30. And there's more. We'll be streaming on Monday. This Monday, 5 o'clock UK time, 20th of April. We will be getting back into Members Monday. So just click join below this video and you'll be able to get all the information. You know, guys, just try it for a month. If it's rubbish, just cancel it. But we're building up a nice membership now and I'm getting excellent feedback. Lisa, welcome Lisa Shevchenko. Chris, thank you for these 30 lessons. These were very interesting and useful. This allowed us to gain new skills in using macros. Absolutely, Lisa, that sounds good. Good to see you got value out of it. Ola says, do you ever use error catch for the user? So if the user puts in an integer instead of a string, do you flash a message? That's a good one, Ola. So for me there, you're talking about data validation. Yeah, so as always, with VBA can't do everything, okay? Formulae can't do everything. Together, they're best friends. They really can do everything together. So worksheet techniques, data validation is one of them. That's the way to get VBA working consistently. We have to be able to guarantee what data is going to come into the routine, because you're right. For example, if we're expecting a string, a piece of text, and we're getting values, numbers, that could be problematic. How do you stop that? You could validate it in VBA, but you'll be missing the point, really. The best way would be to put some cell validation in. This is so underrated as a worksheet technique. So we're talking data validation. Data validation is one of these. You know, I always use the keyboard shortcut, of course, Alt-A-V-V. And here you've got your list, which gives you the drop-down menu. But you've also got, numerical validation, numbers between a particular range, or you've got custom validation options. So you've got to combine together VBA with worksheet techniques. In this case, data validation, cell validation. Another thing lots of programmers ignore because it's not very glamorous, is it? Data validation on a cell. Super powerful. That's going to support the code, get everything working smoothly, because we want to avoid user errors. Well, we want to avoid errors. Dorothy says, start the class already, please. Dorothy, I don't know who you are. There's no class today. This is a celebration stream, and I'm just answering some questions and stuff. Dragonwin, welcome. Am I late? What are we doing today? We're just chatting today. Yeah, so I'm just answering questions, trying to bring things together for the user. So if you want a tutorial, you're going to have to click off, go to another video on the channel. We're just chatting today. Gary says, I often need to load data from CSV files and do some calculations on it before adding it to a workbook model. It would be good if you had a video in that, Chris. Load data from .csv files and do some calculations. Okay, I mean, I'll probably say the same thing I said earlier, which is, no matter how kind of specific your application feels, it might be a specific sector or just very kind of specific to you. It's always the same stuff, guys. It's always the same, the same techniques, the stuff we've learned on this program. You know, I haven't got any magic stuff that I throw in. I'm using the techniques that I've taught on this program. Thank you, DC. This is the last day of the class. No real work. End of term, guys. Okay. Gary says, when's the wedding? Is it VBA themed? Well, the wedding, we don't know when it is because my girlfriend's left me because of my obsession with 30 for 30. No, that's not true. It's been cancelled because of the current situation. So it's going to be later in the year, Gary. Is it VBA themed? I'm going to see what I can do. Yeah, and up with the debug skill. Yep. Thank you, Aaron, for signing up for the selected members post. Good to see you there. Lee says, Members Monday, not even 50p a day. It's real value for money. Thank you, Lee. And Members Monday, you can, of course, hit join below this video. Okay. Sandeep says, I have seen your live. Even when there's only 7 viewers watching, you use this as an opportunity to make the session more interactive. Absolutely, guys. You know, like with YouTube, you're going to put videos out that get no views, you know, and I've done lives, you know, DC knows. This time last year, we were doing the chess series and I was doing live sessions. Paul Taylor used to join these. Welcome, Paul. But we were doing the chess series and we'd have live sessions with like 6 people. You know, DC was there and we'd be trying to work out the code. So I couldn't just look at the views and say this is rubbish, you know, but I just really enjoyed trying to get it working. You know, the technological challenge of trying to get all this working, the presentational challenge of trying to communicate and trying to do the code. You know, you got to love the process. You got to love the challenge. If you can love the process, you can keep repeating it. Then you can have success with YouTube or whatever you're talking about. Anup says, one good part of VBA is You can easily sneak in your data manipulation software in your organization without running after IT admin. Perhaps. I mean, VBA, let's talk about the future of VBA. This is one of the questions I've got here. Where are we? The future of Excel. Yeah, I mean, this links to Henrik's question here, which is Visual Basic a language that can be used outside the Excel world? So I've interpreted this anyway as the future of Excel VBA. And yeah, I would be dishonest if I said, listen, everyone's using VBA. And if I said VBA is the only thing you need in your career, although it might be, okay, like any programming language, VBA has its pros and its cons. And as I said, I think VBA has two main problems. The first problem is that Excel has data capacity constraints. Several hundred thousand rows is going to be too much for Excel. And the other one is collaborative working. So if you're using Excel Online or Google Sheets or something like that, working collaboratively, VBA doesn't work in that situation. Okay. So we've got to ask the question, how much are people working collaboratively? Yeah. And I suppose you might think there's a trend towards more collaborative working, and that's probably true. So people using Word Online more, people using Excel Online more. But at the same time, those collaborative platforms have been around for 10 years or more now? Google Docs has been around for 10 years, I think. Not everyone's working on Google Docs, you say. So even though there's a push towards more collaborative working, there's still going to be lots of people wanting to do development on their own system. Yeah. And that's where VBA comes into play, where people do development on their own system. So that's where I really think Excel VBA is here to stay, and indeed usage is going to increase. Maybe less so in the larger organizations, but there's so many individuals. I work with two people you'll call high net worth individuals, small organizations. I had a conversation with a CEO of a startup just here in Nottinghamshire this morning. Small organizations, they're going to always need an Excel VBA. So appreciate the pros and the cons, but don't be convinced by the people who say, oh, Excel VBA is old. Excel VBA is, obsolete now. That's definitely not true. And the deal you get with me, I'll be honest with you about what my advocacy position is. Obviously, I'm going to argue for Excel. People who are critiquing Excel, they're often arguing for something else, and they have some kind of motivation, some kind of motive for doing that. Maybe they're selling some software or something like that. So, even 10 years ago, people were saying VBA is obsolete. I think it's a very good future here for VBA. So I hope that addresses your question to some extent, Henrik. Excel future. Let's go back to the question quickly. Visual Basic, a language that's used outside the Excel world. I mean, it is used outside Excel. VBA interfaces nicely with the other pieces of software in the Office suite. So VBA interfaces nicely with Word. So you can create beautifully formatted Word reports out of VBA. VBA interfaces nicely with Outlook as well. So if you're using Outlook as your email system, you can get VBA to create a report, put it in an email, and then send it to somebody. How cool is that? And this project I was talking about this morning, we've got a routine to send 80 emails with pricing quotes to people. So that used to take the customer couple of hours. Now it's like a click of a button, little configuration box, and then it sends straight away. So certainly with other pieces of software in the Office suite, there's lots of scope for getting VBA to work with them. Right, into the chats. Let's see what else is in the chats. Okay, welcome, Paul. Good to see you. Ian says, thank you for the course. Content has been brilliant delivered. See you Monday for M&M. Thank you, Ian. I'll see you then. Oh, Peter, your wedding's been cancelled too. No way. Not good. Peter says she's worth the wait. I mean, yeah, my girlfriend is as well, of course. Dragon. I just wanted to say thank you, Chris, for taking the time to make the videos. I only have a single question. When will the real example continue? Good question, Dragon. So we have a series on the channel called Excel VBA Real World Example. We've got season 1, that's complete. That's about 14 videos. Season 2 is about halfway through, so I will complete that. But I think that the long-term direction for the channel is going to be live content. So I might complete that with some live sessions. Yeah. I think I'm just going to do live content now because it gets a lot more impact, a lot more interaction with viewers. So we'll probably complete that at some point over the summer, at some point as a live series. So good question, Dragon. And look out for that one. 43 viewers, 23 likes. Thank you so much. DC says 3 or 4 times a year, IT guys are trying to convince us to use smart sheets. They are barking up the wrong tree. Excel or die. Yeah. Periodically, well, every year, like the Excel killer comes out, and there's people on LinkedIn saying this is going to kill Excel. Listen, the dynamics of the productivity software market mean that that's not going to happen because Microsoft has such a big market share. It has these long-term contracts that are difficult to break. And you know what? Why would companies want to switch all of their software to a different provider when Office is good enough? These are the reasons that Excel is here to stay. It's to do with the dynamics of the industry there. Okay, good. Henrik says, okay, so you mean Excel VBA is mostly for just a person to work with, no collaboration in groups in Office 365. Broadly speaking, Henrik, yes, that's along the right lines. VBA, it's not just for single people, but in my view anyway, more for small organizations. Yeah. Because you can't do the collaborative working so well. Having said that, I've done numerous projects for multinational organizations using VBA. But VBA has to have somebody who's going to be responsible for it at a kind of local level. So 5 or 6 people, maybe 1 person working with the file because they have to download it to their system to actually work with the file. Okay. That's not a problem for most people. People can work around it when they see the power of VBA. So don't let that put you off. Jorgen's got to go. Rehearsing with the rock bands. Have emailed you. Thank you everyone in the chat, especially to you, Chrissy. Salute the general one more time. See you soon, Jorgen. Fantastic stuff. Good. A Tom Petty cover band. Excellent stuff. Right. Let me know. Any further questions in the chat? And what other good comments have we had? Let's go to the concept here. So great comment here from Phil. Is Phil with us still? I think Phil is with us. So welcome, Phil. And Phil says, I love the conceptualization part of VBA. Yeah. I mean, when you started the course, there were probably things that you thought would appear in the course and things that you wouldn't. You were surprised appeared in the course. You know, you were probably thinking, yeah, we'll be doing code and spreadsheets. You probably didn't think we'd talk about planning and conceptualization. You know, it's another one of those secret weapons that's got nothing to do with programming really, that can massively increase the impact of your programming. So I recommend planning, conceptualization. That means pseudocode. Yeah, writing out the comments in the VBA editor. But there's much more to it than that. It also means communicating with a client properly. Clients love visuals of spreadsheets. Clients love spreadsheets if they don't have to look at Excel. So if you can visualize it in some way, and that could be some kind of structural diagram where you have, you know, a box for each sheet to show the overall structure of the file. It might be a visual representation of a dashboard. You know, you can do that in PowerPoint or even in Excel, using the shapes in Excel. You know, visualizations, they also help with planning and conceptualization. If your planning is good, if your concept is clear in your own head, the programming should be straightforward. When people have problems, it's because the plan and the concept in their head isn't clear enough. So thank you very much to Phil for that comment. So important, planning and conceptualization. Good. So Miss Nobody in the chat, welcome. I don't think we've seen you on the stream so far. What level of difficulty is your upcoming Monday class? I'm a beginner and just started watching your channel. Will I be able to catch up? So Miss Nobody, the Monday classes, they're not in an order. They're not in a sequence. So 30 for 30 was in a sequence, one stream built on the previous stream. Members Monday, we might have two or 3 weeks where we work on the same file, but you can dip in and out of Members Monday. In terms of the level of difficulty, I'd say it's more difficult than 30 for 30, but there's some easy parts as well. So there's certainly some parts for you to dig into that are going to be quite easy. Now, if you just bear with me a second, I'm going to find our Members Monday Content Navigator. Just bear with me a second, please. Let's get this open. Because when you sign up for Members Monday, you get the Content Navigator. And this is an Excel file that tells you everything about what we've done in Members Monday so far. So in this file, you get a sheet that summarizes each stream we've done so far. We've done 20 so far, so you can see the summary there. This is the topic. This is a little summary of what we did. There's the homework task. And then here, these are the topics that we covered on the stream. So you can pick out something in particular that you're interested in. If you click on any of these, it's going to take you to the place in the video where we were talking about that thing. So you get this when you join Members Monday. Also you get what we call the report generator. So this is another sheet in the file. You can go ahead and select a topic here. That's the wrong view. Go to the desktop view. You can go ahead, select a topic here. For example, if you want to learn more about VBA error messages, you can generate a report here, and it will list out all of the times in the streams that we've talked about VBA error messages. And you can just click over here. It's going to take you to that point in the stream. So I would say, don't worry too much about the difficulty. Yes, it's challenging, but with this Content Navigator, we're giving you a way to navigate it. So why not challenge yourself? Challenge yourself and give it a go. Click join below this video if you'd like to get involved with Members Monday. And yeah, miss nobody, shoot me an email, info@tigersolutions.co.uk if you want to talk any more about Members Monday. Henrik says, okay, Chris, thank you for the answer. That's a pleasure. DC says, one thing I hate about Excel VBA is the wonky Mac and PC versions. Not everything works well. Mac is also restrictive when trying to talk to other applications, even other apps like Outlook. Yeah, good shout, DC. Now, I call this system to system differences. So these are generally pretty small, but they do exist. So some code runs differently on Mac as opposed to Excel VBA, as opposed to Windows. And DC particularly is talking about how programs might interface with each other. So that's something you've got to look out for. How do you deal with that? Well, lots of testing things on different systems, managing client expectations down. You know, when you send a file to the client, don't say, this is the final file. Say to the client, I'm sending this to you for testing. I would expect you to have some problems with it. And that way you can discover if there's any problems. If it works on your system, it doesn't work on their system, then you've got a system to system difference. And that is a tricky one because you might not be able to go and work on their system. So that's when you've got to get into debugging mode, get online, see if other people have had the problem. I had it last year when I was trying to populate a combo box in a user form. Code that works on PC just doesn't work on Mac. So I had to find some alternative code. Luckily, there's almost always another way to do it in Excel VBA. Phil, you're still here. Good. I just pointed out one of your comments, Phil, which was great. Yes, Ian Reeve, I'll look at your homework in the next Members Monday. Yeah, that's another thing we do in Members Monday, homework review. So each week we have a homework task, and the first 2 pieces of homework that are emailed to me, I review in the next session. Lee, yep, giving us some good feedback about Members Monday. Thank you, Lee. Whoops, let's see what else we've got here. Okay, thank you, Miss Nobody. Yep, that's a pleasure. Yeah, and Ian Reeves says, check out the 4 videos for absolute beginners as well. Yeah, if you just type in Excel Visual Basic to YouTube search, you'll be able to see my face at the top or near the top. That's our classic series, the Excel VBA for Beginners series. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay, so what about the next 30 for 30? Now, there's no doubt I'm going to have a bit of a relax, just taking some water here. You know, I have fallen behind on one project in particular, so I've got to catch up with that. But I'm thinking about the next 30 for 30 and delivered, broadly speaking, in the same way as this one, although I think I'll have a few days off this time and maybe a weekend off. But what do you think about these ideas? Over on the right there, we could do something about Excel formulae. That would be fairly straightforward to deliver. But would it be particularly valuable for the viewer? I'm not sure. What I'm really interested in is diversifying the content on this channel. So not just having Excel, having other things as well, and reducing the dependency on Excel. I'd love to deliver a course on how to do a whole analytical project. So not just the analysis, not just the Excel stuff, how to set up a project, how to find the right project to do, how to analyze the business environment and find different projects, how to evaluate candidate projects against each other, how to actually manage a project as well when you're doing the development, how does all that work, and even stuff, so end of project stuff, onto invoicing, ongoing maintenance and things like that. So I'd call that how to be an analytical consultant, or Chris's Excel development methodology, which is down in the bottom right corner. I'm also really interested in business strategy, and I teach at MBA level on business strategy. And I think it's so important for programmers to have a broader understanding of the business environment. If you can understand the strategy, the business, some of the industry dynamics, things like market segmentations, that's going to improve the impact of your programming skills. If you can kind of take the broader view and find the best place to apply VBA. So that's why I think it's important to... It's so important to have a basic understanding of business strategy. Would also like to do something about YouTube, getting YouTube to work for you, So if you're into Excel, you want to start up an Excel channel, I'm very happy to explain to you exactly how you do that. And that means things like technical stuff, equipment, also things like how to do the presentations, but not just for Excel. I think, I'm one of those annoying people. I think everybody should have a YouTube channel, whether you've got a business, you haven't got a business, whatever you're working on, I think you should have a YouTube channel. If I wasn't doing this, I'd have a YouTube channel about my pull-ups, and I'd call it pull-ups for tall guys or something. Pull-ups for tall, skinny guys, something like that. You've got to have a YouTube channel about something. You've got to be making content. I really do think you've got to be making content about something and try to fall in love with the process of making content. So there's some ideas there for 30 for 30. And let me know what you think. Put a comment below this video. Or you can shoot me an email, info@tigersolutions.co.uk. And at some point, I'll probably put a poll on YouTube as well to try to canvass opinion and to get some ideas there. Good. Yep. Peter Jones says methodology and analytical sound very useful. Good. Yeah, it seems to be some good feedback there. Ola says, can you teach HTML or coding websites? I can't, Ola, I'm afraid. I do know a bit of HTML, but not to a level where I could teach it. Ian Lamb, yep. How to be an analytical consultant. Excel development methodology would be good. Jasmine, creating your own app using VBA. Okay, good. And get YouTube to work for you is a good one. Okay, so from that feedback, I'm thinking people liking the idea of talking about a whole project methodology for VBA. So as I said, yeah, leave a comment below this video. If you're not watching live, I'd really like to know what you think about 30 for 30. Good, so I think we'll wrap it up there. There we go. So it's been an absolute privilege to be your guide for the past 30 days. I might get emotional actually because it's been such hard work. It's been really hard work, but I've absolutely loved it. And don't worry, I cry all the time. So don't worry. But yeah, you've just got to just don't be scared. Like there's nothing to be scared of out there. When I started VBA, I was like, what the hell is this? I can't do it. There's really is nothing to be scared of. If you get your attitude right, you're going to be good to go. Right. So I told you I'd get emotional, sorry, but my little contribution to this series is dedicated to Kuda the dog, actually. And yeah, she's not with us anymore, actually. So it's a bit of a sad time in our house because she passed away 2 years ago. And but you can see her hair. She's just here, and she kind of watches over us now. Like, you know, she's not with us, but she guides us through. And, you know, when I had her, it really inspired me in so many ways. You know, I know it sounds silly if you haven't had a dog, but like, dogs are they've just got a great attitude to everything. You know, they're not scared. They love learning. You know, they're positive about everybody. And she was just a real kind of inspiration for me. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Lots of love from here in Nottingham. And this one's going out to Kuda.
One more step is all it takes to end a life of just in case. Oh, but all we do is stand and wait, forever wanting more. Dig down deep, broken, I'll find a stolen treasure behind those eyes. It took a long time, but we're not alone. And deep, deep down, you know. Yeah! One last chance to make amends for tragedies and happy ends. Our night might just be heaven sent. Forever's not too long. Oh, deep down deep, broken, I'll find a stolen treasure behind those eyes. It took a long time, but we're not alone. And deep, deep down, you know, no, 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 no. On and on we go.
Bear with me a second. Okay, here's Kuda. I think the last video I did 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she was a lot smaller then. She was really getting. Hello, baby.
On and on I know. Yes, but and all I show, you still hide your you hide it. And I sleep, 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 sleep. I will keep dreaming deep, deep down. You know, no, 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 no. Dig down deep, broken, I'll find stolen treasure behind those eyes. It took a long time, but we're not alone. And deep, deep down. Dig down deep, seeking you'll find stolen treasure that lights those eyes. It took a long time, but we're not alone. And deep, deep down, you know.
This is my user-friendly style video. Confused dog here. How does the dog get through the style? Kuda, come on. Okay, we just lift this up. Dog is through the style. How about that?
On and on we go, thinking yes, but saying we all see. All the love we wish we showed comes along but leaves alone.
Kuda, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go and have a bath. Come on then.
See, as it changes, touch and rush, we're free. One more step is all it takes to end a life of just too late. But all we do is stand and wait, forever wanting more.
Roll starts on the damaged right leg.